Welcome, everybody. It is April. Who knows what day it is? No, I know what day it is. It's April 24th. You kind of go crazy staying at home every day. One day goes into the next. It's like Groundhog's Day. So I was saying to myself, what's today? Is it May 8th, May 6th? Nope, it's April 24th. That is the day. It is a Friday. I hope everybody is doing well and staying healthy. And before we start our show, I got to make sure that I am very polite and say hello to everybody in the Brad squad. Let me start off by saying hello to Tamika Nelson, Carla Waterman saying squad up, Katie and Plunkett, how are you? Violet Blackwood, what's going on? Deanne Watson, Carla Waterman, I said hello. Sheer, blessed and highly flavored parrot. She is Cher, blessed and highly favored parrot. I like that name. Violet Blackwood, squad up, how are you? All on Facebook. Marcella Reed, Devani Scott saying hello. Carol, the Anderson Tiger, and Andrea Wilson. She is very tired. I'm sorry, Andrea. She's very tired, and she's been wanting to go to get some rest since about 4 o'clock, but she couldn't because she's waiting for this show to start. And she probably is working all day and killing herself, and poor woman is trying to keep her eyes open. And she's like maybe down to like her little slits or something. But now we're back up. So she's woken up and said hello. And thank God we're there. And thank God you stayed up to watch us. And thank you very much. Corrine Powell saying squad up. How are you as well? I'm getting a sexy Brad from her. So thank you very much. It's very nice of you. And I don't feel very sexy in quarantine. Quarantine Brad is not sexy Brad. I can tell you that right now. But let me say hello to also on YouTube, Anjuwola Goldman saying, hey, Uncle Brad, how are you? Leslie Benoit, what's going on? Carol, the Top Cat Tigress 2 Anderson. She is double fisting. She's saying hello on YouTube and on Facebook. Leslie Benoit, Umar Perez, Elisa Henry, how are you? David Odias, Ja Love, what's going on? And Jamaina Tawari saying hello, stay safe and healthy. We're going to try our best. That's for everybody. Tiana Mo, Patience Hill saying hello. 29 Super C. And of course, Lady Leah, all saying hello. Squad up. Now, I want to remind everybody before we get into our schmooze that if you do not subscribe to Bradshaw Live on Facebook or YouTube, you're really missing out. So really, because we come on sometimes at 5, sometimes at 4, and it really depends. Not because I want to screw everybody's time up. It's because I'm a lawyer during the day, and even though I'm home, I'm still talking to people all day and helping people. So sometimes my day runs a little longer, sometimes it runs a little shorter. And we try to start by 4:30. We try to start somewhere between 4 and 4:30. But Bradshaw Live time, it can come anywhere within an hour. So the only way that that you're not going to be able to miss this is to subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe. Now I've spoken to some people who have said, you know what, I'm a little scared to subscribe. I don't want anyone to know I got an immigration problem or I'm an immigrant or maybe the U.S. government is watching this. Who cares if the U.S. government's watching it? Number one, nobody is coming for you because you watch Bradshaw Live. Number two, I can tell you that more than half of our subscribers, both on YouTube and Facebook, are United States citizens. So just because you subscribe to our show doesn't mean anything. You could be a U.S. citizen. You could be a born U.S. citizen. You could be a resident. It doesn't mean anything. So please subscribe, and that way you know exactly when we're going to come on. And there's a little bell to subscribe on YouTube and on Facebook. You want to like and follow. Not only like, but follow as well. I also got to remind everybody that if I don't answer your immigration questions today, I'm going to try to answer as many as I can. So leave your immigration questions in our comment section. The quicker you leave it in the comment section, the more likely I will see it. Please don't put it in caps. That means that you're yelling at me. I take offense to that, and I really don't. I joke around. You can put it in caps. You can put it in bold. You can put it in italics. Just make sure it's in the English language. That's the only language I know how to read. But please leave your comments and your immigration questions now. Also, if you don't have an immigration comment or an immigration question, leave an intelligent comment nevertheless. The longer your comment, the more intelligent it is. The algorithms pick it up, and it will share our feed to more people. And I know everybody in the squad is really, we don't have dumb people watching the show. We have people who want to be informed, who want to be educated, who want to enjoy themselves. We don't have any dummies here. So I know everybody can make really smart, intelligent comments as well. And I really, really encourage it. So don't forget, like and follow on Facebook and subscribe on YouTube And don't worry that somebody will think something of you. We have plenty of American citizens who were born in America who follow, like, and subscribe. So it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. I know people are scared. I'm telling you, don't be. Okay. Number 3, we have an Instagram account. We usually go live on Instagram, or we started to go live on Instagram, except we haven't done that recently because I can't control so many things all at once. And although I have Lee in his bedroom controlling a lot of this, and Julie Bean in her bedroom controlling a lot of this, and Pizza in her bedroom controlling a lot of this, and Jenny from the cubicle, who is very, very sad right now, Jenny from the cubicle, because she doesn't have a cubicle at home. She only has a bed at home. So we're like, it's now Jenny from the bedroom. Okay. But when she's back in the office, she'll be Jenny from the cubicle. So we got Jenny from the bedroom as well. And of course, Julian, the TriCaster guy, Yo-Yo, I'm sure is in the comments somewhere. I'm sure Nesquik will pop in every so often. We got the whole crew, Jeremy, we got the whole entire crew here. So, they are helping me in doing all of this. With that said, you can follow me on @RealBradBernstein on Instagram. As I said, if you follow me on @RealBradBernstein on Instagram, and I did not answer your immigration question, you could drop me a DM, and I will be more than happy to help you to the best of my ability. You can also follow us at Brad Show Live. If you follow us at Brad Show Live and you want to get on Uncle Brad's list, that's me. That's what the squad calls me, Uncle Brad. Everybody's got a name. I'm Uncle Brad. I didn't name myself Uncle Brad, by the way, although I have nieces and nephews. They named me Uncle Brad, but also Brad Squad named me Uncle Brad. And I guess it's a term of endearment. There's hopefully not calling me an old man, but it's a term of endearment, which I appreciate very, very much. And if you want to get on Uncle Brad's list, and that list is, I get that every day from my staff at the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. They give me a list, and it says right on top, Uncle Brad's list. Even my staff is now calling me Uncle Brad. And you go on, you call up my office. It's 1-800-529-5465, 212-227-8933 internationally, 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. And you can get on my list, and I will call you. I literally sit in the same exact spot right behind all these pictures, and I call people all day long. And then when I'm done calling people, I go and do this show. That's my day in quarantine. Every day, Groundhog's Day in quarantine. I go from my bedroom to my living room, back to my bedroom. That's where I travel. So with that being said, please, to be short, subscribe on YouTube, like and follow us on Facebook. You will get notified every time I come live. Follow me on @RealBradBernstein on Instagram. Drop me a DM on Instagram. That's where I will likely see your comments and questions when I'm not on the air. And also follow us at Brad Show Live. And when you follow us at Brad Show Live, if you like the post that has our free consultation contest, that we give a free consultation out every Wednesday, if you like that post and you tag 5 of your friends, you may be pulled out of Uncle Brad's scratchy old hat and get a free consultation with me. With that, we got to get into some schmoozing. There's a lot going on every day here. Even though we're home and doing nothing, the world is still going crazy. So let's do something we like to call schmoozing with Brad. So first, I'm going to first answer many questions in this first thing. And because we get these questions all the time. When is immigration going to open up? When will I had an interview on April 10th. I had an interview on April 15th. When am I going to get my re-interview again? When are they going to schedule it? Well, immigration finally announced today that after they closed on March 18th, so immigration, the USCIS has been closed since March 18th. They announced today that they are preparing to reopen every USCIS office for interviews for walk-in appointments by June 4th of this year. So on March 18th, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, they temporarily suspended the in-person services at its field offices, the asylum offices, the application support centers to take your biometrics, all to try to slow down the spread of coronavirus. So they're slowing down the spread of coronavirus, but they're also slowing down everybody's immigration case. Now, the immigration officers, they're working at immigration. They're just not seeing people for interviews. Well, today, USCIS announced it is readying their offices to reopen on or about June 4th is the target date. Employees of these offices, immigration officers at these offices, they're all continuing to perform their services that do not require face-to-face contact with the public. So just as I've been saying every day, immigration is there, they're working, they're probably completing their old cases, they're probably doing their work, okay? And maybe you'll be getting notifications from immigration on all sorts of things. But they are going to start rescheduling interviews as of June 4th of this year. Now, USCIS field offices, they're going to send the notices to applicants and the petitioners with scheduled appointments, naturalization ceremonies, all whether it's asylum, adjustment, citizenship interview, naturalization ceremonies, everybody is going to get a new notice for a new date. You don't have to contact immigration. USCIS asylum office is going to send an interview cancellation notice if they already did, and they're automatically going to reschedule all of these interviews. When the interview is rescheduled, the asylum applicant's going to receive a new interview notice with the new time, date, and location of that interview. When USCIS again resumes operations for in-person services, and that's your adjustment interviews, your I-751 interviews, your naturalization interviews, your oath ceremonies, your InfoPass appointments, I need to renew my work permits expired, I need to get an expedited advance parole, all of this will happen as of June 4th. USCIS is also going to automatically reschedule all of these individuals. So every person should be expecting a new appointment letter in the mail. Now, those who wanted to go down to immigration and had a question about their pending case and they made an InfoPass appointment, that's how you get down to the immigration service. You got to go online. You got to make an appointment to go down and speak to somebody. You just don't show up and say, hey, I'm here. Can you help me, please? Well, you can. We do that. But a lot of times the right way to do it is just make the InfoPass appointment. All of those people who had InfoPass appointments, they will not be rescheduled. You are going to have to reschedule those InfoPass appointments once immigration reopens again. And it's all closed because of this coronavirus. Now, according to Johns Hopkins University, over 2,780,000 people have tested positive for coronavirus. 194,000 have died. That's globally. Over 765,000, more than 750,000 people have recovered. In the United States, more than 884,000 people have tested positive for the virus. That doesn't mean there's only 884,000 people have been sick in America. That means that they actually got a test. The U.S. death toll has surpassed 50,300 confirmed coronavirus cases. It is probably a lot more simply because a lot of people who died never got tested for the coronavirus. So therefore, the figure is really unknown, but it's a higher number than that 50,300. Now, experts have called the soaring United States toll a great underestimation because the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention counts only the fatalities in which the virus is confirmed in a laboratory test. So if somebody dies and it looks like they had coronavirus and they were suffering from coronavirus, but they never got a test of whether they were sick from coronavirus, they're not testing you after you're dead. So they're not being counted. So that number is fatally flawed. It is much larger than what they are announcing. Now, Trump is not making this easy for anybody, okay? He is having these press conferences every day. Maybe it's already started. I don't know. Maybe he started his new one already. And it's like the wild, wild west with this Donald Trump. He's just saying stuff all over the place without any factual basis, without any scientific basis. I don't know if he's saying it just to get a rise from the crowd, just for ratings, because he's sick in the head, or maybe some combination of the above. I don't know. But according to CNN, they did a fact check of Trump's dangerous suggestions just from yesterday's press conference. For example, Trump said that sunlight and ingesting disinfectants could help cure coronavirus. Is that what he really said? You should go and drink disinfectants? That's what he said? Yesterday, Donald Trump dangerously suggested, yes, at the White House briefing that ingesting a disinfectant could possibly be used to treat people who have coronavirus. Yeah, that makes sense. You know what? If you spray some Lysol around to kill the coronavirus, open your mouth and spray it in your mouth. Well, after Bill Bryan, the acting Undersecretary of Science and Technology for the Department of Homeland Security, explained during the briefing that new experiments show that coronavirus does not do as well in sunlight or heat, Trump suggested that Americans who have the virus can treat it by going into the sunlight on a hot day. Well, that doesn't really make much sense because in Australia, Tom Hanks got it, and it's 100 degrees in Australia right now. And Singapore, it's hot as hell there, and they have it. So just walking around the sun doesn't mean you ain't getting coronavirus. But Donald Trump, he doesn't believe that. He said there's been a rumor, a very nice rumor, that you go outside in the sun and you have some heat and it does have an effect on other viruses. He then asked the coronavirus task force coordinator, Dr. Deborah Birx, repeatedly to speak to the medical doctors to see if there's any way that you will comply light and heat to cure, the coronavirus. You can't just sit under a heat lamp or something. Well, even after Trump asked Dr. Birx this, she said, I never heard of heat and Donald Trump said, have you ever heard of heat and light having an impact on viruses? And she responded, not as a treatment. What? Well, after Bryan talked about experiments in which he said disinfectants like bleach and alcohol can quickly kill the virus, Trump wondered aloud about whether disinfectants could be used to treat the virus in humans. It's like he has like lung tongue disease, like whatever weird thing goes in his head, he just blurts it out. So after asking whether there is a way we can do something like that by injecting some cleaning fluid in you, can you believe the president of the United States is saying this stuff? And by the way, there are people out there who are stupid enough to believe him. If you inject cleaning fluid into your body, it will kill you. Okay? The fastest way to kill yourself, go inject yourself with some cleaning fluid. So here's some fast facts to kind of make clear that what Donald Trump is saying, like bizarre things. Well, first of all, Dr. Birx told Trump directly, and as medical experts have said after this briefing, that sunlight is not a potential treatment for coronavirus. Neither are disinfectants that are used to clean non-human surfaces. Food and Drug Administration Chief Dr. Stephen Hahn told CNN's Anderson Cooper later yesterday, I certainly wouldn't recommend the internal ingestion of a disinfectant. Yeah, that's the understatement of the year. How about Donald Trump just told people to kill themselves by injecting disinfectant? Now, Washington State's Emergency Management Agency warned against eating Tide Pods, injecting disinfectant, tweeting, don't make the situation worse. You'll end up literally in a hospital. It's so bizarre. It is so bizarre. Now, some funny Twitter reactions to Trump's briefing. Tweet number 1 at Winlun said, I hear ClipBang has a new advert. It's so much better than Dettol and Domestos. I guess Dettol and Domestos is the cleaning fluid. Pop said, you're in good hands with sunlight. Dettol and Trump MD on your case. #disinfect. And tweet 3, Lewis Each said, have you injected your Dettol today? Deedle? Is it Deedle or Dettol? I don't even know what it is. Meanwhile, Trump also then flat out denied he even said that. Now, when asked why he said all this, he says, I was only kidding. He also issued a false denial yesterday about the promotion of hydrochloroquine, an anti-malaria drug that he embraced a month ago as the cure. He said, go use it. What do you got to lose? It's been around forever. It can't hurt you. And everybody on Fox News was saying, hydrochloroquine, go use it. It can't hurt you. It's the miracle drug. Why are all the liberals and the doctors and scientists, why are they saying not to use it? It works. It works. Go use it. It'll cure you. Well, Trump has now tamped down this rhetoric about hydrochloroquine. In March and April, he was dropping it every day in his daily news briefings. He was touting it on Fox News, but we haven't heard one mention of it in the last 2 weeks. Or very little mention of it. Why? Because every scientific study that came out not only said that hydrochloroquine doesn't work to cure coronavirus, but it actually may cause heart disease, a heart attack, a cardiac arrest. So today, the Food and the Drug Administration issued a warning against anybody who uses the anti-malaria drug touted by Trump as a possible treatment for COVID-19 outside of a hospital setting or a clinical trial. There have been doctors who have been giving this out to people, and they've been hoarding it in their homes. And the doctors are saying, well, just hold it. If you get coronavirus, you can take it. But it could very well kill you. Now, Trump also claimed yesterday that the presumptive nominee, Democratic nominee, Joe Biden, is a guy who doesn't want to debate because of coronavirus. And that's a bit misleading, too. In late March, 2 weeks before Senator Bernie Sanders dropped out of the Democratic Party, Biden said he was focused on the pandemic crisis and he didn't think we should do any more debates. And really, with Sanders, because really he felt he was the winner and he would have nothing to gain. He would have nothing to gain by debating Bernie Sanders. But he never said that he didn't want to debate Donald Trump in particular because of this virus or for any other reason. Rather, Biden has consistently expressed eagerness to debate Donald Trump. And as a fact, on Thursday, he said, "I can hardly wait to debate Donald Trump." Are you kidding me? Now, this is a weird story too, but maybe it makes sense. I don't know. I wonder, are we still live on Facebook? Yes, we are. I got cut off there for a little bit. But this is a weird story, and I don't know what to make of this, but coronavirus deaths are greater among Fox News viewers that watch Hannity over Tucker Carlson. Those are their two big stars on Fox News. Fox News is now disputing these findings. The study was titled "Misinformation During a Pandemic." Now, researchers asserted that reduced incidences of coronavirus and lower death rates among Fox News viewers were associated with a more serious view of the health crisis taken early on by Tucker Carlson. Sean Hannity was comparing coronavirus to the flu or a cold. So he was telling people this is nothing, it's fake news. Tucker Carlson was taking it a little more seriously. The people who watched Hannity were more likely to die than the people who watched Tucker Carlson. Now, he argues that Hannity began shifting his views as the scale of the impending health crisis became clearer in February. By mid-March, areas with high viewerships for Hannity were said to have correlated with areas hit hardest by the pandemic, while those who preferred Tucker Carlson tonight tended to be located in areas that were hit less severe. And, unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there who are going on social media and they were very, very skeptical about this virus, for example, and they were listening to the news. A beloved bar owner in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, he passed away from coronavirus on April 9th. Joe Joyce, he opened his establishment, J.J. Bubbles in Bay Ridge in 1977. On March 1st, Joe Joyce and his wife Jane set sail for Spain on a cruise from Florida. His 3 adult children suggested maybe you shouldn't go because of this coronavirus. I mean, this is March 1st already. But Joe, non-smoker, healthy, he said he's going. He watched Fox and he believed coronavirus was under control. So he went, and unfortunately, he returned from his cruise sick with coronavirus. By March 27th, when he returned, his daughter Kristen got off the phone with his father. She called an ambulance. He was wheezing. His oxygen level turned out to be dangerously low. On April 9th, he unfortunately passed away. The following day, Artie Nelson, one of his longtime bartenders at J.J. Bubbles, also in the 70s, died of the virus as well. As the New York Times wrote, it is possible, of course, that Joe Joyce did not contract the coronavirus on a trip to Spain, where almost 20,000 people have died from complications. But the combination of being on a cruise ship and visiting country with a full-blown outbreak is hard to ignore. And his daughter speculated to the paper that if Trump had gone on TV with a mask and said, "Hey, this is serious," I don't think he would have gone. Now, an Ohio man also dismissed the coronavirus pandemic as a political ploy, ripped his state, Ohio, as for this political lockdown, the quarantine. He said that's bullshit. Well, John W. McDaniel, 60 years old, with all of that lockdown bullshit, unfortunately, he also passed away in Columbus exactly a month after reportedly firing off a series of angry messages about the coronavirus. He wrote on social media, Does anybody have the guts to say coronavirus is a political ploy? Asking for a friend proved me wrong. Well, 2 days later, McDaniel reportedly wrote about Ohio Governor Mike DeWine's stay-at-home order. He doesn't have the authority. If you're paranoid about getting sick, just don't go out. It shouldn't keep those of us from living our lives. Well, since then, McDaniel has died of coronavirus. And you have every right to live your life. What you don't have the right to do, and I say this every day, you don't have the right to walk around and spread virus and sickness to other people. So you have to follow what the scientists are saying. You can't follow what your gut says. You can't follow what you say, well, my mind says it's something different. The only thing you can follow is what science says. Because when we have to debate whether science is right or wrong, the people who are always saying that science is wrong always end up on the wrong side of history. Now, a Virginia pastor, he died from coronavirus after previously saying the media is pumping out fear about this pandemic. The Virginia man also downplayed the seriousness of the coronavirus as merely the media pumping out fear. Now, Landon Sparadin, he was 66. He was a pastor and a traveling musician. He died in North Carolina after testing positive for coronavirus. As first reported by Patch nearly 2 weeks before his death, Sparadin shared a meme on his Facebook page suggesting the media can manipulate your life. So, I mean, we have over and over people doing these things and saying it is a falsehood, this coronavirus. Ultimately, they go out into the world, they get coronavirus, they spread it to other people, and unfortunately, they pass away because they're not listening to science. They're listening to their stupid minds. Now, Donald Trump has made it clear that he is very impatient for business to reopen and has even spurred on protesters, urging them to go back to work. But even he said on Wednesday night that he thought that Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia had gone too far by allowing barbershops, nail salons, and other businesses to open this week. Trump said, I think it's too soon. Now in Georgia, Governor Kemp let gyms, hair salons, and tattoo parlors reopen today. You're supposed to social distance in these things, but how the hell are you supposed to cut your hair from 6 feet away? How does that even happen? How are you supposed to, as a waiter, serve somebody from 6 feet away? Now, Trump said this week, I love those people that use all of these things. He's talking about the spas, the beauty parlors, the barbershops, the tattoo parlors. I love them. But they can wait a little bit longer, just a little bit, not much, because safety has to predominate. Now, are you kidding me? Are you saying to me that it is more important for somebody to get a tattoo at this very moment than to save lives, than to perhaps kill me, kill you, kill your loved one because they get sick and then have to go around and infect other people so they can get a tattoo? What is this world coming to? Finally, if you may remember, there was a Navy leader, a captain, Captain Crozier. He was fired from the command of the aircraft carrier Theodore Roosevelt. More than half of his boat got sick with coronavirus. He was telling the upper commands, hey, you got to do something. My boat, the sailors, the people who are on this boat, it's like a cruise ship. Everybody's in close quarters. Everybody's getting sick of this coronavirus. The military swept it under the rug. They didn't do anything. People were getting sicker and sicker. Well, he then finally came out publicly because the military was not helping the sailors who were protecting us from getting coronavirus, getting sick, and potentially dying. And because he came out publicly, he was removed from command. He came out publicly by sending a letter pleading for help to fight this coronavirus on his aircraft carrier. But then Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who was briefed on the recommendations, has asked for more time to consider whether to sign off on the reinstatement of the captain. Esper's decision to hold up the investigation has surprised Navy officials who believe that Defense Secretary would leave the process in the hands of the military chain of command. Now, what happened was after he made this letter public, He was relieved from command. As he was led off the boat, all of the sailors who were not sick on the boat gave him a standing ovation for standing up. This is a situation where you hear in the military, we leave no man behind. Well, there were men who were getting ill, and this captain was not leaving any man behind. But the military didn't want the bad press. They fired the guy. And then the Secretary of the Navy came on the next day, stupid guy, and he goes on the loudspeaker of the USS Teddy Roosevelt and says, Captain Crozier was stupid for writing this letter. He's a stupid, stupid man, or something to that effect. I'm paraphrasing. And then he resigned the next day because the sailors couldn't believe that the Secretary of the Navy came on to say that the captain, who was trying to protect the sailors, was a stupid guy, and then lost his job. Well, after he was fired, the saga took on a new meaning. A video of hundreds of cheering sailors yelling Captain Crozier as he departed the aircraft carrier. It went viral. The maneuverings afterward of the acting Navy Secretary at the time, Thomas Modly, to write a crisis in the Navy only deepened public interest. And now, after a review of the episode of last month, the Secretary of the Navy, Thomas Modly, he's out of the job. He's the guy who came and said, did on the loudspeaker that Captain Crozier was stupid. And now Admiral Gilday, Modly's successor, pushed for the reinstatement of Captain Crozier. He deserves his boat back. With that being said, we do have to get to your immigration questions, and we're going to do that right now in something we like to call, you got a question, I got an answer. All right, we got some sound issues here. 1 second. We're going to fix it all right here. 1 second. Some sound issues. Excuse me. 1 second. And now we have no more sound issues. Oh, we still have sound issues. All right. Well, that didn't work out very well. Let me put that back off then. All right. Jilly, we'll do it another time. Let me get to some immigration questions here. By the way, before we get to your immigration questions right now, I have 145 people watching on YouTube. I only have 49 people who turned that gray button into a blue button. So please go right now, turn that gray button into a blue button. Also, please share this link with all of your friends and family in your WhatsApp. Let them know that they can watch this show on Facebook. This is the time to start your watch parties. If you start your watch party right now, hopefully I'll be able to answer as many questions as I can from not only you, but all of your friends. And with that, let's start on Facebook, and let's see what we got here. Carrie Ann, Go Getter Nibs, says, my case is at the Visa Center and I paid all the fees and I submitted all the documents. I was waiting for an interview date, but then I became a citizen and they changed the visa category to F1. I called and emailed them to opt out or remain in the F2B since February. I haven't heard back from them since. What can I do? Yes, you didn't become a citizen. I guess your petitioner became a citizen, or you're the petitioner and you're petitioning somebody else. But they can request to be in the F2B, follow it up with another letter. So if you didn't hear anything, I would follow up again. Andrea Morris, should you accept stimulus package offered by the government will affect the person filing for someone? Absolutely accept it. That's not a problem at all. Tifa Hassan, hi, I did my asylum interview in September 2017, but I have not yet get my decision. Is this normal? Yes. If you've been watching my show, they do it on last in, first out. What that means is that people who file their asylum applications now are getting their interviews very fast. But people who filed back in the day, 2, 3, 4 years ago, it's taking longer and longer. It's like the accounting theory, if you've ever taken an accounting class, last in, first out. The people who filed longest are going to wait the longest. Forrest Mushy. And by the way, the reason they do that is Trump's trying to discourage people from filing for asylum. Because if you file for asylum and they give you a quick interview, you don't get a work permit or anything. So it's trying to discourage future people from applying for asylum. And he doesn't care about the people who filed years past. Now, the way to resolve that is you file a mandamus if you have a really good asylum case. And what a mandamus is you force the government to process your case. It's unfair that you would have to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years for an asylum interview. So you file a mandamus, the federal court judge forces the government to give you an interview. So that's the resolution if you have a good asylum case. Forrest Mushy has a question on Facebook. I had a friend marriage to his husband and adjuster status I-130, I-45. Do a biometric 6 months later, she received an RFE for the I-864 response. And now a week later, she received another request for an additional request. Okay, that's a full statement. So now if you keep getting RFEs, something has to go off in your mind that says, I'm screwing this whole thing up. Maybe, just maybe, I need a consultation with Uncle Brad. Just maybe. So I would give that, I would give me a call, give that a call. That is me. Give me a call at 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. And by the way, when you file adjustments and you keep getting RFEs, your case has not even left the starting gate. So you're not getting work permits, you're not getting an interview, nothing's happening. It's as if you never filed until you get it right. That's when your case starts moving along the processing time. All right, Adewale Lawal obviously was not listening in the beginning of the show. He's writing in caps. So let me read the question. I just want to ask a question for my friend. Please, what could happen to U.S. citizen whose USCIS refused to grant his 5 years green card, suspected to be a fraud marriage? Well, Adewale, if you are suspected of a fraud marriage or your friend is suspected of a fraud marriage, A, it's a crime, and B, if they have evidence of it, if you got a green card and then they find evidence that it was a fraud after the fact, you will have your green card removed, taken away from you, and you'll be put in removal proceedings for deportation. It's also a crime. Also, if you try to file for a green card some other way and you've been accused of marriage fraud, you will never get a green card. It is a permanent bar to getting a green card. So if you're accused of marriage fraud, how you handle it is you prove they're wrong. And you need a good lawyer to do that. You have to prove they're wrong because there's no other way to deal with it. And you need a lawyer. Archer and Natasha, will a permanent resident be able to petition for a spouse and children under 21 after Mr. Trump's rule yesterday? The answer is yes. File today. The rule is that children under 21 of permanent residents, they cannot go for an interview at an embassy for 60 days. That doesn't mean that you can't petition them. That doesn't mean that you can't continue to process for them. It is a 60-day bar from getting scheduled for an interview. It's not a 60-day bar from you can't file for your children, you can't file for your spouse. Hernandez Sema. Good evening, Brad. What does correspondence was received and USCIS is reviewing it mean on my VAWA when I did not send any documents to them? Again, my VAWA has been pending for 12 months, even without prima facie. Is that normal? Well, you screwed up. You just can't file a form and then expect something good to happen. You filed a VAWA with no evidence. You will not get a prima facie. If you didn't file it with an adjustment, you won't get a work permit. You filed for all intents and purposes, you filed a baseless VAWA application. You got to file it with all the proper documentation. He has more questions. Finally, my VAWA has been pending for 12 months without any decision of prima facie, yet my new wife asked me to withdraw it so she can file for me. Is it advisable to go ahead with her, or should I wait for USCIS to make a decision on my VAWA? If you're in a bona fide marriage with your new wife, withdraw the VAWA because that VAWA sounds like it's a disaster. And if you're living with your wife, then have your wife file for you with a word of caution. Whoever advised you on the VAWA is an idiot. Don't listen to them again. If you were doing it yourself, I'm sure you're a smart guy, but you did it absolutely wrong. Go get help by getting a good lawyer. By the way, you'll happen to be looking at a good lawyer just out of coincidence, and my telephone number is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK. Share blessed high favored parent. If your I-94 got lost, what should I do when I adjust my status? Simpson Dolores replying to Share Bless, you can get it online. Simpson Dolores continuing, type in the I-94 in Google and put in the information. Correct. If you type in on Google, Simpson Dolores, you happen to be right. If you type in on Google, I-94 replacement or lost I-94, what should come up is Department of Homeland Security.gov website for replacement of the I-94, and you can go and pull that information up right on Google. Tamika Nelson, also with a very intelligent comment, share, and invite guys. Thank you very much, Tamika Nelson. Tamika obviously doesn't want any women coming on. She's only inviting guys. I hope Kevin's not watching, Tamika. Lomina Dixon. It's so sad my son was on that ship. I'm sorry, Lomina. I hope he's okay. Annette Rose. What can I do? My daughter is 23 and her baby is a citizen. They're both in Jamaica right now, but I would like to know how I can get her here. Any suggestions? By the way, I'm a green card holder here for 4 years now. If you haven't filed for your daughter, there's not a lot you can do for her at this moment right now because the embassy is closed. What we should be doing is, if you're concerned about getting your daughter here, is have a consultation with me. I don't have the answer off the top of my head, but we can brainstorm and figure it out. Rehan Chowdhury. Hello, Sir Brad. I came here on a K-1 visa and now want to apply for adjustment of status. I got married the same week I got here. I want to ask, how much would the cost be for your fees? My case is simple. My petition got approved without any rejections. I arrived here, got married the same week, and now waiting to file the I-485. Please answer if possible. Rehan Chowdhury would like me to figure out what my legal fees are while I am live on a show, while I am controlling both Facebook and YouTube feeds, trying to answer questions and continuously talking. But I should stop and then calculate what my legal fees will be. It's $1 million, Rehan. If you want me to tell you my fee at this very second, it is $1 million. I am sure I can give you a substantial discount of at least 99% off that $1 million, maybe even more, 99.5%. But you would need to have a consultation, because even though you think your case is simple, until we have a consultation, I'm only joking around, but until you have a consultation with me, I have no idea what my fees are. Let me tell you how I figure out a legal fee. Okay, because it's not for you to determine if you think your case is easy. It's for me to determine if I think your case is easy. So that's number one. And I got to determine how much time and effort I'm going to put into your case. It's time plus effort equals legal fee. My time, my attorney's time, my paralegal's time, and all of our effort that goes into it determines our legal fee. I can't figure that out on Facebook, but you can give me a call. It's 1-800-529-5465. I'm going to be happy to help you, I promise you. Hernandez Samet. Brad, my attorney told me if I get married while my VAWA is pending, that it will be denied because I've been watching your show and you said someone can remarry even when the VAWA has not been approved. Yes, you can remarry. You just, but of course you can remarry. Stargirl Mika, and if you choose not to leave a nice comment, the Brad Scott will take care of it. Brad, we got your back. Thank you very much. Hello, Uncle Brad. I came to the U.S. on the 8th of February, 2020, and my visa would expire the 1st of August, 2020. Do you advise I fill in for extension, or I wait till I get married to my U.S. citizen girlfriend and file for change of status? If you are getting married, you came in February, March, April, May. If you're getting married June, July, August, just get married and file the adjustment. If you're not getting married for 3 more years, then yes, file for an extension. They call me Callie. Hi, Uncle Brad. What happens after you get a receipt after filing the I-130 for your spouse? What's the next step? Wait for the approval. If your spouse is in another country, if she's here, you should have been filing an adjustment. Steve Kahn. Hey, Brad, my mom sponsored me in October of 2016. She's a U.S. citizen. I'm over the age of 21. How much longer do I have to wait? About a year and a half to 2 years. Akintunde Iusape Swarty. Hello, Uncle Brad. I came to the United States. Okay, I answered that question already. Linda Allison highly favored James. Does the immigration ban apply to persons who have already been granted an immigrant visa and is just waiting for a flight to the U.S.? If you have the immigrant visa, the ban does not apply to you. All right. And Tamika Nelson says Kevin is not watching. We're okay. DJ Starboy. Hi, Brad. I'm a child. I'm child support, but I'm married. Is a problem to file for my wife. If you're paying the child support, it's fine. If you're back due on child support, it could be a problem. And a question from Jilly Bean. She got this question for me to read. It says, hi, Brad. My name is Will. I live in Tampa. I got married last February. I applied in March. I did my biometrics on the 14th of April. As of April 14th, 2019, the fingerprints relating to your Form I-765 application for employment has been applied to your case. I have not received a work permit yet. I called USCIS, but they can't find my application. They asked me to send a mail to Vermont. I have a lawyer who seems to do nothing. What should I do? Sounds like they don't have a record of you. They lost your case, number one. And number two, if you got married within the first 30 days of you coming here, you have a problem with misrepresentation. So everything your lawyer has been doing, including lost case and the fact that you got married within the first 30 days is all problematic. I think you need fresh eyes on this case, Will, and you should give me a call. Let's go back to Facebook a little more. We're going to get to YouTube in a little bit. Ronaldo Roberts. Hi, my son has a B-class felony and a misdemeanor charge. Can he renew his 10-year green card? Doesn't sound like he'll be able to. He should. B-class felony is a big problem. It's a deportable offense. Misdemeanor, 2 crimes of moral turpitude, deportable. He should be giving me a call. Navneet Singh. Collecting unemployment insurance, is that a public charge? No, it is not. I'm a dependent under employment base, got impacted from my job due to COVID-19, and my employer has asked me to claim unemployment insurance. As long as you're a dependent, it's perfectly fine. Kuchi T. Hey, Brad, like I said before, I got a prima facie determination which telling me that I can receive any benefit like food health assistance. I'm in Arizona. I applied to receive benefits, but they sent me papers telling me that I'm not eligible to receive benefits because I'm not a lawful permanent resident at least 5 years. I'm a lawful permanent resident for 2 years now. A prima facie determination is a letter from the government telling you that you're eligible for assistance, right? What should I do? Well, the prima facie is for federal assistance. It is not for state or local assistance. So when you get a prima facie, you're eligible for any federal assistance program. If it is a state program, they have their own, each state has their own particular rules. So what you got to do is, I'm not an expert in government assistance programs. I'm really not. So I don't know what to tell you, where to go or what to do. But if you do your research, you can apply for federal help, not state and local help. Josette Smith has a question. If you go back and forth on a visitor's visa but got married within 90 days on your last visit and plan on staying to give birth to your child, is it possible for your resident alien spouse to apply for you using your original date of entry? Well, you have a couple of issues. One, I hope you didn't come in here with the purpose of giving birth. That's a problem. Number two, if you got married within the first 90 days, it's a problem. I think you need to call me. There's ways to adjust your status, absolutely, but you got to be careful on what you're doing. Hernandez Sama. Hi, Brad. I got a work permit. If I file the VAWA with I-45 and I-765, even if the VAWA has not been approved, will I get it? Absolutely. If you file, if you have a pending I-360, you can file the I-45 and I-765, even if the VAWA has not been approved, and get your work permit. And I suggest that. Let's go a little bit to Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, YouTube. We forgot YouTube. I didn't forget. People think I forgot, but I didn't forget. All right, so let's start here on YouTube. Oluwale Osaba. Can you please provide me with the email? I have a few questions. I need your professional advice. You can email my office at info@lawsb.com. That's info@lawsb.com, and you can set up a consultation with me. You can also follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein, and if you follow me on Instagram at Real Brad Bernstein, you can drop me a DM with your question. But if you need like some serious advice and it's more than a question, then definitely email us at info@lawsb.com. or give us a call at 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-529-5465 or 212-227-3636. Geronimo, Brad, your beard is perfect and you look like a handsome prophet. Oh, well, thank you very much. Soshi32, laughing at Geronimo. Thank you very much. Reniqua Walker, hey, Uncle Brad, I hope you're doing well. I just want to say stay safe. You're doing a great job. We appreciate it. Thank you very much. Anne Rose Jackson, it's a global misinformation. We just have to be careful at all times. All right, well, so much for what everybody is saying. Navneet Singh, we got to get to the immigration questions. Navneet Singh, collecting unemployment insurance, is that a public charge? No, it is not. French Boy, hi, Brad. On March 16th, 2020, my case is ready to be scheduled for an interview. How long would it normally take in a normal world without Corona? About 6 to 12 months. Brooke Brown, hello, Uncle Brad. I may have missed it, however. Is there a date on the U.S. Embassy board to reopen? We do not have that date. USCIS came up with June 4th. The U.S. embassies have not said anything. I would say it's going to be on a country-by-country basis. Denise Finley, hi, Brad. I'm F4 category from Jamaica, waiting for interview appointment date. How bad will this whole thing affect us? I don't think ultimately it's going to affect you in the long term. It's a 60-day ban. If Trump tries to do it for well beyond 60 days, I think there's going to be lawsuits. The only person who can get rid of the F4 category are Congress, not Donald Trump. Hero Boy, a petitioner who is a U.S. citizen, is still using Medicaid even after February 24th. Does this affect your husband's application for immigrant visa interview at the U.S. Embassy? The answer is yes, it does. Mofian Adajipi, I filed the I-130 and I-45 adjustment of status for mom as I'm a citizen. She's an F1. I did her biometrics in January and the green card application is pending. Does she still have to enroll in class as a student? If you filed her adjustment application, she does not have to enroll as a student anymore. Tally, to Lady Leah. I like the way Uncle Brad reads caps. Well, eventually, if I read caps like that, people will realize don't send it in caps. Rudy Noel. Hi, Brad. My brother went to a green card interview and his wife also applied for his kids and the interview went wrong for him. 7 months, no decision. What do you think may happen? Well, if the interview went wrong and it's been 7 months, what do you think is going to happen? You want me to say everything sounds great? Green card should be in the mail tomorrow. No, if things went wrong, you got a problem. And the fact that you sit and do nothing, it's just the problem's festering. So if you already know that the interview went wrong and it's 7 months and you hear nothing, why in a million years do you think something good is going to happen? By waiting. Only thing good that happens is by taking the matter into your own hands, going to a good attorney and trying to get that good attorney to fix the problems. Let's see who else we got here. I lost my place here. Coyote Dada. Hello, Brad. I just want to ask if someone gets his green card after 2-year anniversary wedding and gets a 10-year green card, when does the person file for citizenship? 3 years after he got the 10-year green card. Because you never got a 2-year green card. It's always 3 years from the date of the permanent green card or the conditional green card. Tracy Lacey, the president just finished his press briefing with his task force and they all walked out without the reporters asking any questions. This is crazy. Every day it's crazy, Tracy Lacey. Crazy, crazy. And that rhymes with Tracy Lacey. Crazy, Tracy Lacey. But you're not crazy. You're correct in saying what's crazy. You happen to be right. Manuela Cordy. I'm married U.S. citizen for 4 years. My adjustment of status was approved in April and got my green card last week. When could I file for citizenship? 3 years from last week, if that's the first time you got your green card. Dominic Dixon. Good evening, Uncle Brad. What does immigration check your social media accounts for, and how to avoid a denial based on your social media? They're checking to find anything that would make you inadmissible. If you're claiming a relationship with one woman and you're kissing some other woman. If you say that you work as a truck driver and then they see you working, in the club as a stripper. I don't know. I'm making stuff up. If they, you say, you love America, and then you're on social media saying, let's bomb America. They're looking for anything that could make them decide you are not a person that should come to America, depending on what your particular application is. If you applied for asylum and you're claiming fear of this group, but then there you are saying this group is fabulous. If you're applying for asylum because you changed your religion, you were Muslim and now you're Christian, but then they see you at the mosque and social media every Saturday or doing prayers 3 times a week, 3 times a day, that's a problem. They're looking for fraud. They're looking for all reasons to trip you up. Patience Hill. Hi, Brad. I started my husband's paperwork with you and I can't get in contact with you or even call you. I called and they tell me you're not in the office, so what can I do? Patience Hill. Nobody is in the office. We are all quarantined out. So you call and you say, I would like Uncle Brad to call me back. Can you please have him call me back? Other thing you can do is if you're not getting through for whatever reason, I'm not sure why. I don't know what the miscommunication may be. I'm not answering the telephone. But what you can also do is you can follow me at Real Brad Bernstein and you can drop me a DM and I'll be happy to respond to you. Katie and Rowe, is it normal for immigration to be ready to schedule an interview 2 months after sending the adjustment? Previous biometric was used. Should I get my social and work permit before? No, well, if you got your interview within 2 months, that's fabulous because your green card is your work permit and you can get your social with your green card, so you won't need the work permit. It's actually good news, not bad news. Let's go back to Facebook for a little more. Let's see where we left off. Adewale Lawal, Honorable Brad, I hereby declare you as the best immigration lawyer for the year 2020. You are so good to give your times free to help us. God bless. Well, thank you very, very much. Zanib Zendrenev. Hi, Brad. I'm married March 6, 2018 and filed the adjustment of status 2018. I'm under VAWA. My husband sent me the dissolution of marriage. Does that affect my status because I'm divorced 5 months ago? No, it does not affect your status. You can be divorced and still file a VAWA within 2 years of a divorce, and you filed your VAWA before the divorce even happened. So it's perfectly fine. God bless you, and you don't need to worry about anything. Janice Smith, I filed for my daughter over 21, May 19, 2014 from Jamaica. I'm a U.S. citizen. When is she going to get through? Janice Smith needs to know, can I do the magic 8 ball one-handed? No, I can't do it one-handed because we got to really shake it up. Janice Smith needs to know when her daughter is getting her green card. The visas are available. We have a 60-day ban, but hopefully, if she did everything right, she should get an appointment soon. Let's see what the magic 8 ball says. It says exactly what I said. It is certain. If I can show you. I don't make up what the magic 8 ball says. Can you see? It says it is certain. It's exactly what I said. All right, so I said hopefully soon, and Magic 8 Ball says it is certain. Who else we got here? Hernandez Sama. Good evening, Brad. What does correspondence was received? Okay, I answered that question already. Nikki Brown. Good evening. I am married and applied to remove the conditions from my 2-year green card since August 2019. How soon before I get it, and when can I file for citizenship? You can file for citizenship at the end of your 3-year anniversary of your conditional green card, even if you didn't get your permanent. As far as when you're going to get it, it's about an 18-month process. I generally recommend that you wait to remove the conditions and don't do the citizenship at the same time. Hi, Brad. Please, is the new flex insurance the president just came up with a public charge? I'm not familiar with what this flex insurance is, so I would have to look up more. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with what this flex insurance is, so I don't know. If it's based on that you're below the poverty level, then yes. If it has nothing to do with your income, then no. Moya Douglas, Uncle Brad. My United States citizen husband filed for 4 kids. I only got 2 approvals. Should I wait for the next 2 approvals before sending papers to NBC? If you want the kids to come together, yes. If they're all in the same category, yes. If they're not in the same category, then no. Char, hello, Uncle Brad. I went for asylum interview and was told to wait for results after 14 days, but it's 2 years now with no response. What can I do? Contact me. Michelle Francis, if it's 2 years and you're still waiting for a result, contact me. Michelle Francis with the final question of the day. Good evening, Brad. I am married. My mom filed for U.S. in 2015. How long will this take? Probably about another year or 2. I guess filed for us. Oh, and she's married, not more than a year or 2, probably about 7 or 8 years. And now we are going to get to something. You see, this is like a shortened Bradshaw Live. We're missing Yo-Yo. We're missing a lot of our produced pieces. We're missing our call-ins. But one thing we want to try to get back to is our comments of the day. And let's see what our comments of the day are. Julie is going to surprise me. I have no idea what they will be. And the comments of the day are, drum roll, please. And the comments of the day are, we're a little slow on it. We have such wonderful comments. Here's number 1, Tamika Nelson. Brad, I promise I will not tell you to shave again because the bearded face is popping in you. Antonio Smith, all I want to say is thank you for helping with my immigration situation. I owe you a 6-pack of Red Stripe beer whenever this craziness is over. I will stop by the office. Those are the comments of the day. Thank you, Tamika, and thank you for the beer as well. I really appreciate it. I do have to remind everybody that prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome. This has been an attorney advertisement. However, if you do need any immigration help, give me a call. The telephone number is 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-LAW-LINK, 1-800-529-5465. If you enjoyed the show and you have not subscribed on YouTube, please subscribe on YouTube. That way you will get notified every time we come live. Don't be concerned if you're concerned that somebody said, oh, I have an immigration issue because I'm watching Bradshaw Live. More than half of our subscribers are already U.S. citizens, so it doesn't mean anything. And on Facebook, if you like what you're watching, please like and follow us. You got to like and follow us as well. Tell all of your friends. Please be safe. Please social distance. Please use your common sense. Please follow science, and we'll get through all of this. We will see you all on Monday. Our show is supposed to start at 4:30, but it'll be sometime between 4 and 5. That's why you need to subscribe, so the bell dings for you. As they say, I always say goodbye now in this pandemic in a different language. I got to learn more and more languages. But today, since it is Shabbos and I am Jewish, I will say to all of you, Shalom. Hi.